cards to your chest. You can't see a cop and not confess. It's your disposition, there ain't no confidence you'll keep. Buying and reverse represent just to offer that girl a peek, you tattletale. Can't keep a secret to yourself, tattletale. Displaying it up on your mantel shelf, your telltale heartbeats to reveal things that others would conceal, but your tattletale. Nothing is hidden, you ain't got no sleeves. Just them tattoos of secrets, often about me. Open door to visitors, you should have just let coast. No secret safe, beyond persuade, leave my secret life exposed. Your tattletale. Can't keep a secret to yourself, tattletale. Displaying it up on your mantel shelf, your telltale heartbeats to reveal things that others would conceal, but your tattletale. Unsafe with secrets, no use for camouflage. Can't hold your breath or hide a step. Demanding my triage, you tattletale. Can't keep a secret to yourself, tattletale. Oh, hang it up on your mantel shelf, your telltale heartbeats to reveal things that others would conceal, but your tattletale. Oh, tattletale. Hi. So, thank you. My name is Rees Shad, and I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been doing this literally since I was 4 years old. And my dad was a businessman, and back in the last century when I was a child, some businessmen, had dictaphones. And my dad's was this lovely old German dictaphone that had reel-to-reel tapes. And I was 3.5 years old when I first became fixated on it. And I was just like, this is this thing that spun around, and then my dad's voice would come out of it. I just thought that was the most magical instrument. And I began playing piano around the same time and began writing these little ditties. And I wrote a love song to a girl in school or kindergarten or whatever the hell it was. And I came home and I went to my dad's office and I took this dictaphone and I brought it to the family piano and I sat it down, and I'd already watched him and I could figure out how to use it. So I sat there and I started recording songs. And I saw the same song actually again and again and again and again. Terrible song, obviously. Little kid doing this. And then when my dad came home, I had it on his desk with a little crayon note, a picture of me playing piano. And he came in and was horrified because he'd spent the last 2 nights preparing a major address to a bunch of other businessmen about some topic or other, and I just erased it all with my little silly song. But I got the bug then, and I've been writing songs ever since, and so it's well over half a century that I've been writing songs. And I've got 14 records. That song was Tattletale from my new record. It's the title track. And a lot of my songs are very focused on lyric as well as melody, but the lyric comes first. And so what I wanted to talk about today as I play you some of my music is what got me started, why I wrote a given song. That last one, Tattletale, is kind of a self-confessed song. All my friends know not to tell me any secrets. I let them all go. I can never have a surprise party for somebody in the family because I'm gonna let them know in advance. So Tattletale is really about this imp of the perverse that runs in me. But this is a song that I wrote when I started returning to the piano again after about 40 years of not playing the piano. And I started studying the instrument by exploring the American Songbook. Folks like Hoagie Carmichael, one of my heroes, Cole Porter, of course, the Gershwins, lots of different folks from early 20th century jazz and what was then pop music. And so this song probably is going to get me sued, but I'll play it for you anyway. This is called Mickey Mouse Romeo. Walt could have created that guy you're fixated upon. As of late, my old friend, to the moon this buffoon your heart sends. Where's it end? Where's it end? Where's it end? There's a chorus of voices alarmed by your choices. Too distracted, you hear not a word, but we all see that chump as absurd. Fly away, little bird. He's just a puffed up pretender, no heart, just bravado and show. You never remember the tales that the dandies all tell, but we know he's just a Mickey Mouse Romeo. His lines are impressive and sometimes suggestive of wit, but the jokes never hit. And I wonder what you see in it. I myself am a much better fit. I ain't no puffed up pretender, I've heart, not bravado to show. I never remember the tales that the dandies all tell, but we'll know I'm not a Mickey Mouse Romeo. Oh, I'd give all my eye teeth for the style that is that dandy. If I could get you to glance over at the heart of me, with them eyes that you impress, in that foppish, handsome mess, I must confess my jealousy. Thank you. So that song is really, I mean, it's the tempo is really swinging. That's something that I really have been trying to make more music like more recently. Something that's upbeat, but also maybe something to kind of get you thinking a little bit. These weird little story songs that I create often kind of revolve around rhyme schemes that are often maybe a little more literate than some of my compatriots, right? Like, I've been working on a new project, and I wanted to share some stuff with you from it. Four of my records so far. I've got 14 solo records. All in all, I've recorded 30 records of my music with various bands and organizations. But this is record out now is the 14th. But 5 or 6 of these projects over the years have been narrative, front to back. What I think pop critics like to call concept records. But I like to think of them more as little operettas. And but the last one that I wrote was one called The Watcher, which actually was informed by a string quartet piece that I wrote and expanded upon, and it told the story of a serial killer on the Underground Railroad. And that project kind of brought me to a whole bunch of musicians that were doing a bunch of very interesting kind of out-of-the-box classical / modern music. And So I was really invested in that for a while, and then one of those folks kind of introduced me to a couple of jazz cats, and we started sitting down and playing some jazz music. And the I think what I'm trying to put forth is that there has been a conversation, not only musically but literally in the stories that I create. And the latest one is going to be based on the story of Sir Galahad and the court of King Arthur. It's not going to be Camelot, however. My idea is that I'm going to take Arthur and flip him 180 degrees and make this a crime boss. So what if the Knights of the Round Table are all mobsters? And so there's one sequence that I've created which kind of introduces you to these guys. It's called Take It on the Chin. We're red hot, we're ready to moan. I got a nightcat coming, and we don't drive alone. Never. Sweet hot Shamama waiting up in the wings. I hear she got a friend or two, and them ladies like to swing. Oh, tell you what, brother, it ain't no sin when we all come together, take it on the chin. It's a fait accompli. Give the groceries some heat. Emancipate ourselves a bottle. Serve it up nice and neat. Take the big round table. Lean it up against that wall. We can burn ourselves a hay bale, man. Get down and spin the ball. Oh, tell your little sister she's in like Flynn. If we all come together, take it on the chin. We all had ourselves some blue days, all seen some trouble and pain. Our bug house is calling. I hung up the phone, said, wrong number, don't you come calling again. We all walk together on the weather, the storm. No brother's better than one brother in arms. Our hillside of stone is as strong as a boulder. Oh, stick with me, son. You might live to be older. I hear the heat come and keep it on a slim. Hold your head up, take it on the chin. Take it on the chin. Big man's calling. Let the work day begin. But this night's just getting started. That's all fun, oh my friend. Down, 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 yeah. Down, 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 yeah. Down, 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 yeah. Don't raise no sand, just play to win. All come together to get on the chin. So that's like full of all this language that I gleaned from a lot of literature that I wrote, that I read over the years, that really comes from this kind of beat sensibility. I mean, a lot of the phrasing, a lot of the way sentences are formed in like a Chandler novel, or even in some of those great old Bogart films. And I wanted to take that vibe and start putting it into songs for this project. And so part of what I wanted to talk about was just a little bit about the fact that in the creative process, sometimes we take on different guises. And the guise that I might take for an operetta like The Watcher is far more formalized in terms of trying to find a voice for the story that fits with classical music and modern classical vibes of a string quartet. But then this other project, what I'm calling the Galahad Project, is really about kind of this 1950s jazz cat vibe, street language, and bringing that into the story. And somewhere in between those two worlds exists the kind of music that I make on a day-to-day from day to day. Anyway, so the new record is called Tattletale, and I play out a lot with a trio and a quartet called the Conversations. So Rees, Shad, and the Conversations. And you come on out and check us out. We'd love you to come on up to the stage and say hello and introduce yourself. You can find me also at reesshadmusic.com if that's helpful. This is a tune that has been getting a lot of attention with streaming tastemakers. This is from the new record. This is a song called Nobody Said, and it's the only co-write on the record. To call it a co-write may be overstating it, but I have a beautiful old Steinway that I inherited from my great-great-grandfather, and it has been beaten up over the years, and when it landed in my living room, it needed a lot of help. And I called up a friend that has a similar piano. I said, hey, do you have somebody, a technician that you can advise me to hire for this? And he said, oh, yeah, I got Sal. I'll send you Sal. This guy's name is Sal Maneri. I know it sounds kind of like somebody, you're going to need an antibiotic after he visits, but he's a wonderful human being, used to work at Steinway. And he came in, he's a big cat. Got a lovely voice. He's a jazz singer as well. And he comes in one spring day, and it's like it was repeated visits to get this piano up to speed. So it was like over a 2-year period we got to know each other. And one spring he walks in, I'm like, how you doing, Sal? And Sal's like, well, no one said spring was easy. I was like, I'm stealing that line, brother. So that's the co-write. And this is called Nobody Said. You never know where you're going to find your inspiration for a song. Nobody said that spring was easy. Never behaves as you'd expect. Frost can come on in an instant. That deluge can roll on in. Nobody said that spring was easy. Nobody said that we'd be easy. Wouldn't behave as lovers do. Jealous hearts can beat the loudest. Unfiltered words we can't undo. Nobody said that we'd be easy. Nobody said. We all know but never dare to tell, 'cause that would break the spell. What chance have we instead to bloom or fall off dead? Nobody said. Nobody said the end comes easy. Heat of summer here and gone. We're left with colors that anticipate the cold, and and only went around foretold. Nobody said the end was easy. Nobody said. Down, down, down. Da 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 down. La da da da. Da 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 down. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ba da ba 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 da. Da da ba da 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 da. Ba ba da 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 da. Ba ba da 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 da. Da 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 da. Nobody said spring was easy. Nobody said. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm just going to end with one last tune. When I talk about motivations and where I find my ideas, I often tell people that, I go back to a lot of Dadaist practices where these things are, you open take a book off the shelf blindly, open it up to any page, and write a song based on the sentence that you first read, or a photograph that first comes into view, and write a song creating with that. And this was a very, very particularly powerful photograph that I saw of a gentleman and his toddler washed up on a shore. Tanya Vanessa, empty echoes of choices made in the arms of Tanya Vanessa, canyons of grief and river silt stains. When the elements themselves had turned against them, misleading water, seductive and calm, like all of the others before them, the lies that they told them, why now did they trust? In the arms of Tanya Vanessa, only possessions are left to embrace. In the arms of Tanya Vanessa, grasping to hold what was lost in that place. Our journey of promise, betrayal, and hardship, fueled by love for each other, una vida mejor. In all of the lies that they told them, just like this river, why now did they trust? Dreams of Tanya Vanessa, empty echoes of choices made in the dreams of Tanya Vanessa, canyons of grief and river-filled graves. So that's actually the mother's name, Tanya Vanessa. And I tried to figure out, I tried to climb inside her head a little bit. I don't know if I did it in a way that was real to her experience, but certainly would have been for mine. And so that's, I mean, as a writer, what I do. I try to empathize with other people in their situations and try to put myself in their shoes and then write stories about that. And there are a lot of stories. And they keep coming, thankfully. So I appreciate the muses. I appreciate even more the folks that put the show together and allowed me to come on. So again, my name is Rees Shad, and my band Rees, Shad and the Conversations is playing all around the area and then some. And we'd love to see you out. So thanks so much.